Hey guys, it's Projector. Today I'm going to talk about top 5 tier 10 line that you should check out. So I'm going to pick one from each type of a tank. This means one light, one medium, one heavy, one tank destroyer, and of course one SPG indeed. And also these tank or the line that I pick, not because the tier 10 is good, right? But I'm going to pick this because just the whole line it's interesting, and I think that you should check out this line. So let's get started. So for the first line we have the MX13105. So this line is special because it is the only light tank with an autoloader. And why is it so special? Because in my opinion, the autoloading light tank will really teach you how to be the real light tank and also doing damage at the same time. So okay, here's the thing. When you play the light tank, you want to be sneaky, right? You want to You don't want to get spotted that often, so you want to try to keep the distance and spot the enemy. And the autoloader will probably gonna teach you how to really you're gonna go that way, because when you have the magazine, the shell, right, an autoloader, you have the magazine loading system where you can unload it at a short period of time, and then you have to spend a long time to reload. It's just like you have to find an open. You have to find an opportunity to get in, get spotted, doing actions, and then disappear. And that is what light tank should do, right? You should be able to have the ability to just know where you should appear, know where you should take some risk, and then disappear when you have to. So ultimately, I really feel like this line really teach you how to really be a light tank. So starting from very early tier 6, you're gonna get access to this mechanism already. So MX12T, MX1375, the Basha 12T, the MX1390, and the 13105 tier 10 one. They all have an autoloader. So you learn, you already learn this. How can you really play this line very early from tier 6, and you're gonna kind of like gathering your experience again and again and again, and until you get to the tier 10, you're gonna be a master a bit already, right? So and also you're gonna be a master of nearly every single light tanks already once you already get this line going. So it's a pretty special line as well for you to check out. And also there's another special tank, another cute tank that you're gonna have fun playing it, like a MX40, the dark tank that everybody should know about, or the mini scout, the MX EOC Biz, or the EOC MX if you're the old player out there. Very unique little tier 5 little like light tank for you to play. They are great. Every single one of them is nice, and they will definitely teach you how to be a real light tank. So definitely check out the MX13105. For the second line, we have the medium one right here, the Projector 65. So Projector 65 has another special mechanism, is an auto reloader. Alright, the name is a little bit different than an auto loader that we just talked about, right? So the auto reloader, the special thing about this is you have the magazine loading system, right? Like you have 3 shells in the magazine, you're gonna reload shell in one by one. So wow, it feels very powerful, right? But then you have to draw back, because the less shell you have in the magazine, the longer you reload it. So if you empty your magazine, it's gonna take pretty long to reload just a single shell in, and then it will get a little bit shorter for the second one, and the fastest one is gonna be the last one that you load in. This means that you're gonna have to think twice, and that is special about this line. That is what gives you about this line, is it teaches you how to be good, or how can you make a decision before you fire, right? So if you have the magazine, right, you have the full magazine, and you can unload a whole magazine, or you gotta keep brickets. If you can unload a whole magazine, then you have trash DPM. But then if you just fire once and keep the DPM, maybe you don't have an opportunity to fire again, right? So you have to take a look at the map. You have to take a look at the situation to fire, right? You need to think twice before you even click your mouse button. That is how special, and that will give you the ability to grow up and be a better player in World of Tank. And this line, it's definitely gonna give you that, right? It's a very good medium tank, and I believe it's a very balanced line for you to try an auto reloading mechanism. There's the new Italian one, like the heavy one or the tank destroyer one, will definitely give you some kind of the thing as well. The problem is they're not going to be as flexible, so it's going to be a little bit harder to go for only this mechanism. I think if you're going to go for this mechanism, then yes, the medium one is the line to go for. And also, these tank, you don't really get to play bad tank, right? They might be okay, they might be a little bit worse than the standard, but then no bad tank. There's no bad tank at all. Especially like the tier 6 vehicle, the P43. This I love that vehicle. It's just incredible tank. Well, once the grinding experience is gonna be okay until you get to the tier 8. That's where you shine. That's where you start to get to play the auto reloading mechanism. So these mechanism will definitely make you a better player. So definitely check out the Projector 65. For the heavy tank, we have the biggest, the toughest tank, the mouse. This line is all about that, the strong, right? So the mouse is very special tank because I would say this vehicle, even though it looks like it's very tough tank, I don't think it's that hard to pen this vehicle if you just casually drive out in the battlefield and just do nothing but shooting the enemy. I think a lot of players already learn how to pen this vehicle, right? That's the key of this vehicle. You have to angle your armor, and you have to learn how to do it, right? So that is the special thing about this line. It's a line where you start to be better at angling armor, at being heavy tank or bouncing shells in World of Tank. I would say your skill to just angle your armor or know the angle of your armor that the enemy is gonna bounce is just so special. A lot of the good players out there really know this, and when you get in, it just angle their armors on time and you bounce off the armor, and it's just like, how can they learn that? Well, you can learn it from this tank or this branch right here. So the mouse is just definitely special that way, and pretty cool, right? And it's not just the mouse. I would say you get to play a lot of the iconic tank from this line as well. So apart from those angling things, you get to play them like the Panzer II, which is obviously pretty interesting tier 2 vehicle. The Panzer III is one of the best tier 3 out there, and you get to play the iconic Panzer IV as well. You can't go wrong with that one, right? And also the Tiger Pod. Well, not the Tiger one right there, but it will do the job, right? And the VK101P. This tank, I would say, if you struggle in some of those the personal missions, the heavy tank bouncing shell personal mission, this is the best tank that you can play, really. So the VK is gonna blow your mind, and also the VK is a point where you start to learn how to really playing the mouse or angling some of your armors as well. So it's just pretty cool, right? It's a pretty cool line to follow, pretty cool line to play it, and one of the most iconic line to play as well. So you can't go wrong with this line. You're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna have a lot of experience, a lot of improvement playing this line. So definitely check out the mouse. Alright, so the Tango Strike is going to be the Street Fan 103B. So what's special about this line? You might think, yeah, Party Guy, the best sniper in the game, right? No. I'm talking the old matching mechanism. Well, firstly, let's talk about the hydrodynamic suspension, another special thing, if you don't know about it. So this line, or this tank right here specifically, as you can see, you cannot move the gun at all, right? So how can you elevate the gun up and down, right? You already can move left and right, and because the track of this vehicle can be able to expand up and down with the hydrodynamic suspension mechanic, so that's why and that's how you can be able to still move gun up and down and aim at the enemy, right? So these tanks will have two modes. They will have the siege mode and travel mode, as they describe right here. So the siege mode, where you can start to expand your tracks and shoot the enemy, but you're gonna drop down the speed, where the travel mode is the mode where you just move around but you hardly aim, because you can't just elevate your guns up and down at all. Right. That's the thing, and that's also makes this vehicle one of the best sniper in the game, because inside the siege mode they are incredible. They're gonna be so accurate, right? That's a very good thing about this line. However, I would say the special thing about this line, the true special thing, is the overmatching mechanism, or how it forces you to learn this mechanism, right? So if you have no idea about the overmatching mechanism, then as you can see, if you take a look at this vehicle, for example, it has very weak armor, right? It has very weak armor, but then because it has weak armor, but it angles so well, right? Look at the angle. The incoming shell will bounce, right? Incoming shell will bounce. So does that mean that every single shell that hits this vehicle is gonna be bounced? No, because if you know, this vehicle is actually pretty easy to get pen. Why is that? It's because nearly every single tank can overmatch this tank. The overmatching mechanism is where the gun caliber of the firing gun is more than 3 times the armor of the impact armor, like this one. So this tank has 20mm of armor. So this means that every single 61mm and above the firing AP and PCR is going to go through this tank, no matter what kind of angle they hit, right? And because this vehicle is tier 8, nearly every single tier 8 vehicle is gonna have 61mm and above. That's why this vehicle armor is just so weak. And if you move up just a single tier and you take a look at the Split Fang 1030, you can start. If you play the World of Tank, and you might think, okay, this vehicle is a little bit tougher to penetrate. This tank should have way more armor than the UDS previously, right? No, it has 40. 40 is pretty weak, but because it's so well angled, and 40 means that to be able to overmatch this vehicle, you need 121mm plus. It makes it a little bit tricky to penetrate this vehicle. Like take Conqueror for example, it used 120mm. So apart from aiming for the weak point, it can't go through. Taking those medium tank, majority of medium tank would use 105mm or 90mm. They will hardly go through, right? So those vehicles will have the hard time painting through your tank, and you know that once you learn about that, you can just drive right in front of them and then just receiving no damage and just punish them with your amazing gun, right? However, you also have to learn about the tank that can go through your armor, right? For example, if you just get in and take a look at this tier 7 tank, the IS, just the tier 7 tank, it's not gonna be a problem, right? The tier 7 tank that used 122mm. So this means that little tier 7 vehicle can actually just right click on your tank and then probably gonna go through it every single time, right? So you can't really just sit right in front of that mini tier 7 tank, because you're gonna have to make an expensive trade. That is the thing. That is the thing that you have to learn, right? You have to start to expand the knowledge of World of Tank. That's the most important part of going through this line. Yes, it might be, oh my god, party guys, is it gonna be so hard for me to play the game now? No. It's just a bit more, right? Just a touch of knowledge. You just have to expand it, and then you can enjoy the game more once you learn more things. And yeah, that's why this line will just give you way more experience in World of Tank, right? So definitely check them out for this. Well, for the last one is going to be the Conqueror can carry as for the SPG line. I would say I don't really play a lot of SPG myself. However, if I'm gonna suggest just a single unique SPG that you should check out, it would definitely have to be this one. So, I would say this is not the first SPG you should play, but this is the unique SPG that after you probably already get one SPG line already, then the next one, maybe you consider taking this tank or this line, for example. So, what is special or what's unique about this line right here? So the most unique thing is they have the best shell arc. This means that the shell firing from this SPG, from this branch, they're gonna curve a bit more, right? They're gonna curve more than the regular SPG. This means they can hit something behind the cover better than the rest of the SPG, which is, yeah, that is very unique, right? So why don't you recommend this tank or this branch than Projector? Because it's a little bit more tricky to play along the way. Well, this tank right here, the tier 10 one, is okay. You play this one more like a regular SPG, or started from tier reg, you played it like a regular SPG, which is okay. You have a better shell arc SPG, that's it. However, the early one, the tier 5, tier 6, tier 7 one, it's gonna be very different because you now have this super curved shell arc, right? The thing is, the shell is not gonna traverse that long distance. They're gonna traverse pretty short distance, and these 3 SPG has very short firing range. So it's gonna be so awkward for you to play, or for if you don't play SPG before, then I don't think this will be the comfortable SPG for you to play. So that's why I don't really suggest this line first, but then they are unique and they're gonna probably annoy somebody, a lot of players out there. But well, if I'm gonna suggest one SPG line indeed, I'm going to suggest this line, and that's all I can talk about this one. So check it out. There you have it, top 5 tech tree that you should check out in World of Tank. Now I want to hear about your top 5 tech tree that everybody should check out in World of Tank as well. So leave that in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe if you like it, and see you later. Bye bye.